From our money to our governmental oaths and so many instances in between, God is intertwined in American life. It is in many ways a basis for our national existence. But a recent Pew Research Center poll found Americans' faith in God may be eroding, whether it's a belief in what God is or how he impacts our lives. The vast majority still believe in God, but there is also a growing minority who is losing the faith entirely. Our guest is a nationally syndicated columnist, author of 6 New York Times bestsellers. His new book is The Emmaus Code, Finding Jesus in the Old Testament. Welcome, David Limbaugh, to the Hardline. David, thanks so much for joining us. Let me go ahead and begin right away with the poll and a number here that might need some explanation. 63% of Americans absolutely certain that God exists, but that's down 8 percentage points from 2007. What happened in the interim?
Well, President Obama was elected for one thing. Of course, I can't blame everything on him as much as I'd like to, but he has, I think, ushered in a period of militant secularism in the United States. And this is a global phenomenon, though. Christian values are being disrupted and being discriminated against, and Christianity is being shunned in the common culture, in the popular culture. But I will say there is a corollary to that poll, and that is that there is a strong faith among Christians that are Christians, and they're no less faithful than they used to be. In fact, they may be more so. And I see an increasing polarization, almost a mini revival going on among those who want to restore and preserve traditional values, Judeo-Christian values.
What is it then that made Christianity the target? And then how can those who still firmly believe in the faith fight back?
Well, I don't know what made Christianity the target. Probably because Christians worship the God of the universe. And God told in the Bible that people would reject him, and they have since the beginning of time, and there's a hostility toward the God of the Bible. And I think it's a spiritual war that we're seeing play out. And when you see things that are just nonsensical, that don't make sense to us in our logical minds, you almost have to attribute that to something beyond. When you see things like transgender people demanding the right to go in the bathroom of the opposite gender, and not just asking politely, but then suing when a city rejects them through referendum, rejects that idea because they don't want their daughters, to be invaded by males going into their bathrooms and that type of thing. This is nonsense. This is insanity. When a football coach can't voluntarily pray on the 50-yard line without being accused of running afoul of the Establishment Clause of the federal and state constitutions, we're in a loony bird world here. And so I think people are fighting back. And that's one of the reasons you see outsiders doing well in the polls in the Republican primary. So
with about 60 seconds left here, then, let's look at the book where you point out that the need is to go back to the Old Testament and learn forward about how that then helps. How then, and what is it that needs to be garnered from the Old Testament then?
Well, the point of the book, The Emmaus Code, Finding Jesus in the Old Testament, is that the entire Bible, including the Old Testament, is Christ-centered. It all revolves around Jesus Christ. And Jesus told his apostles in one of his resurrection appearances on the Emmaus Road that the scriptures all point to him. And the only scriptures they had at the time were the Old Testament. And he took them through systematically. And this kind of parallels my own Christian walk, where I used to be a skeptic, and one of the main ways I overcame my intellectual obstacles was studying the Old Testament and discovering how it all points to Christ through messianic prophecies, typology, the Old Covenants, not the Old Covenants, all of the biblical covenants. And if the book chronicles in almost 350 pages just how many ways and how many different types of themes there are pointing to Jesus Christ in the Old Testament. And it is fascinating. And by learning this, our faith will be invigorated. Our appreciation for the Bible will grow many times because we'll see how the Bible is one integrated, unified whole.
The book, once again, The Emmaus Code, Finding Jesus in the Old Testament, a way to make sure that one nation under God stays in America. David Limbaugh, thanks for joining us here on The Hardline.